There are lots of shows like The Last of Us who kind of contribute to this idea that maybe there are fungi that could take over humans. Now that is a very scary method for sure, but it has been established in a beetle and with ants. This is asking the question if zombies could actually be real because of fungi. Hi, my name is Holly. I make mushroom art on the internet with the brand Susrooms, but I also make videos all about fungi and art. So there's a different side of me. You'll either get the art side or you will get the fungi. And most of the time, I will also do both. I make these collector cards every single month with every single Meet the Mushroom episode that I put on here, where I create a mushroom collector card and sticker sets based on an actual type of mushroom. Whenever I make these Meet the Mushroom episodes, I always show my art at the very end, and you can purchase it for yourself, or you can join my mushroom club to stay connected with me and get them every single month. But that's a little background for me and why I'm interested in this topic. I was thinking of YouTube video ideas and just in general, and my friend brought this topic up, and I was like, that's interesting, and I want to do research on that. So this is my deep dive if fungi can actually exhibit this zombie-like behavior, and the answer is very scary. So the very first question that I asked is if this is possible for fungi, and the answer is yes. This is called the term parasitic fungi. There is a certain type of mushroom or fungi that actually takes over ants and eats their living bodies to create fuel and more of itself. Kind of like how a Venus flytrap eats living flies to contribute to its organism. It's something similar like that, but this is kind of scary, freaky, and kind of eerie, if you will. For me, at least. These zombie fungi do exist, and they are considered a parasitic fungi. It is called the zombie ant fungus, and here's the Latin name for you. But the one that was really taking news was fungi that took over an actual beetle, which was the zombie beetle fungus, which here's the Latin name for that one. The more that you learn about this, the deeper you go into this rabbit trail, the freakier it gets. This type of fungus infects a living host. It has behavioral manipulation, which it forces the host to clamp on, kind of like a Venus flytrap. And thirdly, it erupts a fruiting body from the living organism. So it takes hold of whatever kind of bug it is, and then it starts to grow within that living organism that is now dead because of it. Yeah, crazy. The specific fungus that took over this type of beetle, the beetle itself was the goldenrod soldier beetle. But the fungus is completely separate from the beetle itself. The fungus is known to disrupt the beetle's behavior, which makes it move. Not only does it kill a living organism, but it makes the organism move. This, in the beetle, was the death grip. The insect is compelled to seek out a flower, typically a daisy, and clamp its little legs as a death grip. After the beetle dies, the fungi takes control of its body and forces the dead insect's wings to spread wide. This is a position that mimics sort of a mating call to try to get someone to, mate. This is a little creepy, actually. The manipulated, elevated, and exposed corpse is believed to be more attractive to unaffected beetles, facilitating the spread of spores to new hosts, often during attempted matings. And basically, once this fungus makes the beetle open up its wings and it mates with other beetles, is whenever it can take hold of those other beetles. That's actually so crazy. I mean, it's kind of like the zombie way. Whenever a zombie is a zombie, it wants to infect others to make more of itself. This is like the same idea, except this is real. Like, I don't care if it's a beetle or not. That's scary. That's really scary. While this zombie fungus is predominantly associated with this specific type of beetle, there's other type of fungus that eat different types of animals as well. This genus is the Cordyceps and Ophiocordyceps, famously known as zombie ant fungus. They also infect beetles and their larvae. The babies. Ugh. These fungi often replace the host tissue with their mycelium and produce a fruiting body that erupts from the host body. Yeah, okay. So basically, this mushroom, the spores, it's not even just the spores. It's like it takes over a beetle from the inside, pretty much. The mycelium starts to grow within this insect and erupts as a fruiting body, aka a mushroom. Crazy. Oh my gosh. This brings me to my next point. Human zombies? Hello? Is this possible? So as soon as I looked this up, I was like, could this transfer to human life? And the good news is that humans are very complex in comparison to a beetle, that it's highly unlikely that this could ever take hold. There are so many different parts of a human organism that are different from any sort of other animal or insect for sure. It would basically be impossible, but I even hate to say that because like, you don't know, I don't know. Here are the reasons why it really can't work though. There are 4 biological barriers that would stop this fungus or any other type of fungus from creating a human zombie. Number 1, this is our high body temperature. Because we have a high body temperature, it kind of wards off a lot of fungal infections. And most of these types of fungi, including the zombie fungi, have evolved to thrive at a cooler ambient temperature. This fungus usually finds its hosts in more of a jungle forest environment. As the human body temperature is a normal 98 degrees Fahrenheit, this temperature is lethal to a vast majority of fungal species. This specific type of fungus cannot survive and grow fast enough to establish an infection within a warm body host. So it kind of seems like this might be more of a threat to colder body organisms as opposed to human life. Again, we're vastly complex beings, and so this type of fungus would have to evolve. The second reason, host specialization. This specific type of fungus actually targets a specific type of beetle. So it's not all beetles, it's not all ants, it's a very specific niche. It's kind of like their favorite food. No, I don't even know if I should say that. So these strains are often specialized fungus that infect one species of ant and often cannot even infect another species of ant. So they like their beetles, they like their ants. It's very specific and very direct. So there's not really a whole lot of branching out from that they do. Even more rare for human life to be affected. Point number 3. The immune system. Now, in comparison, I feel like the immune system of a human is a lot more complex than any sort of life on the planet. This being said, this specific type of fungus actually drills into the beetle's exoskeletons. If spores were to enter humans, they would not be festering and building within. Spores are basically just seeds, and I also explained in another video that you should not be breathing in spores, guys. I don't know if you know that. Ew, now thinking about that, like if you were to breathe in a bunch of spores with a low immune system, I don't know, would it be possible, guys? What if there's real zombies out there and we just haven't seen them yet until they find us? No, I don't think that's possible, actually. Yeah, we've got immune systems, we've got cells, we've got inflammatory responses, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but, you know, I don't know, man. And you may be asking yourself, I've gotten a fungal infection before. Also, I wouldn't be saying that, but Okay, I see. This brings me to point number 4, which is the lack of sustainable growth. So yes, there are fungal infections that human beings can get. And this is because this specific type of fungal has evolved to resist heat and sort of infiltrate. I think the fungal infections are they're pretty nasty. I mean, you can get them from maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing, but ringworm, jock itch, I know that they're not great. I know that they're not great. I will say that the specific zombie fungi has not evolved in that capacity. It's not even evolved to reach other beetles. So I think the rate for its exponential takeover of humanity is awaiting a long term. Of course, if there's a mad scientist that's trying to push up, the growth of it, that would not be great. I would not recommend any of y'all becoming mad scientists and creating zombies. All that to say, what is the possibility of zombies in humans? Well, to say the least, it's very, 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 very low, if not impossible. There are so many complex features of the human organism that will resist any sort of thing from taking over its entire body. There are diseases and all sorts of stuff that can infiltrate the human body, but this specific zombie fungus is not one of them. And I will say the mind control aspect is pretty freaky, that this type of zombie fungus not only can take a living organism and kill it and make more of itself, but it takes the dead corpse and moves it to mate with other beetles. That's just so gross. That's pretty freaky. If y'all have any more weird suggestions, please leave them in the comments because I will make a video about it. I will do a deep dive. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Holly. I make mushroom art, and if you would like to see any more art, you can actually visit my shop, susrooms.com. I built the whole website myself because I'm a graphic designer on the side. If you would also like to learn any more about the types of mushrooms I've mentioned, you can see my entire playlist on Meet the Mushroom. If you would like to see how I make my art, you can visit my art vlogs and just see a glimpse into my life as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you want to stay connected to me, you can also follow me at Susrooms. I am on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. But yeah, guys, this is interesting. I will leave all the sources down below as well because I like to keep y'all informed of all of my sources. I like to do my research and I like to come with a conclusion to some point. What do you guys think? Is this possible? How possible is it? And are people working on it? Because that's pretty scary too. Alright, I will see y'all in the next video. I have plenty of topic ideas for the future episodes, so y'all stick around. Alright, see you in the next one.